Hi everyone, I'm Alicia Fiorletta, Associate Editor of Retail TouchPoints, and I'm here with Uli Becker, CEO of Reebok, and we're at the Reebok store location on 5th Avenue in New York City. Uli, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for being here.
Well, it's a big day for Reebok and for you. Obviously, you guys are unveiling a new brick-and-mortar concept. So, to get the conversation rolling, why don't you share a little bit about this new store concept and how it's really cutting edge for Reebok?
Well, obviously it's a big day for us, so that's true. We're opening not just a box downstairs, but also the store operation at the same time. And we're really proud because this really gives us the chance to tell the world and consumers around here what we're about. We've made clear strategic decisions in the last couple of years, what we want to accomplish in our business in the future. And being the fitness brand overall, gaining leadership within fitness, helping to redefine it as it is a macro trend in the world, is what we're about. And we've done a lot inside the company to clarify what we're trying to do strategically, and we have complete buy-off. Now this is, next to communication and brand marketing, which we started earlier this year, a fantastic opportunity to actually open up a store and box location in New York on 5th Avenue, so that everybody that walks by here and comes in understands what we're about. So it's an experience about fitness that we want to share with people that come into the store, people that go into the box to work out. And it's a new way of looking at the business and also looking at the brand. That impression we want to leave with people, and I believe opening today, as I said, is very symbolic because it's a big starting point to address consumers right when they see you in your own four walls, and that's has mega importance, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fitness box, really amps up that whole brand experience because you're offering, CrossFit classes and really making it, a one-stop shop for consumers. So why don't you share a little bit about, the fitness classes and, what the whole offering is about?
Yeah, of course it's a one-stop shop, but it has something to do with experience. That's more important.
Right.
So it's really not about looking at the store being, this is a transactional place where I can go and buy a product. It really is about experience. People in this store are not just about selling a product, but they're also giving advice about fitness activity. If you have questions, I don't do fitness, what should I do? So they're trained to actually go beyond selling you a product.
Right.
Not just being able to sell, this is a functional product with benefits, but actually to give you advice with regard to overall life situation when it comes to physical activity. So there's a verbal part attached to that, next to products that allow you to do that activity well. And then there's also the other part where you can go and check those products out and the activity out with regard to the box that is just stairs next to the store below, where you can then actually see life in action, see workouts in action. Now, we are really about fitness. CrossFit is a real important part for us because it's the pinnacle of our activities. Hence, you have that combination of store and box down here. But it's obviously not just CrossFit, but it also has something to do with dance, with yoga, which we're not so much addressing in this location, but is obviously part of our overall definition of how we want to approach fitness. CrossFit is big because it's the fastest growing fitness movement in this country and also becomes a global phenomenon now. And we know it adds to the picture of how people define fitness today. So it's not just an isolated, solitary activity on a treadmill, but this is about group workouts. It's about changing your personal best and learning something, progressing, but doing it in a group. So it does not just have a physical result, it does have a mental result and also social aspects, which are making fitness much more fun. So it's not just about achieving something, but actually enjoying the journey to get there. This is what makes this CrossFit experience special, and the combination of box and products both make that a full experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like between the actual store and the box, it's really bringing up the concept of community in the fitness world. So how did you guys make sure that your employees were trained to their fullest potential and that they had the knowledge and the ability to help consumers, whether it was, oh, well, what kind of sneaker should I use, or I'm trying to have a good workout, what should I do?
Well, obviously you take people out of the fitness world.
Right.
You bring them together based on your own philosophy, and that gives them the competence to also answer questions. And that is really what this is about. Community is an important factor, as you said it yourself. It is not just about yourself, it's about all the people around you that share that same type of vision, and they can come from all sorts of different angles and backgrounds. They are different with regard to gender, they are different with regard to demographics. but they all share one vision in mind, and that is what you try to obviously also communicate with people that represent you also in the store. So that's the beauty and the newness to it that also makes it an experience. We have very much similar experiences in our own company, because I believe if you have a strategy, your own company lives it, you have a better chance to be successful. We have obviously opened our own first Reebok CrossFit box in our office.
Wow.
And we had already many, big possibilities for people to do fitness, which were state of the art. When we opened our box a year and a half ago, in between we have 500 people of 1,000 that are actually regular CrossFitters. They're all thinner, they're all more physically active, and they've met each other from all sorts of different angles. So they do CrossFit together, and it's the finance person with the accounting person with the marketing person. And it brings a social aspect to the overall company that the whole culture has changed. To a degree, that is what we believe also happens with consumers that meet downstairs in the box and that also meet up here in the store. It is a community place that I believe sets itself apart from a regular retail operation, which we're very proud of, and that's what we want to drive.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really hit the nail on the head in terms of, the concept of engagement and what it means today for consumers, especially in the fitness realm. I mean, there are so many brands out there, but it's so much more than just, the kind of sneakers or the kind of yoga pants that you wear. So, with that, how do you hope or anticipate that this new concept is going to really differentiate the Reebok brand from its competitors, and even, what the brand used to represent?
Yeah, I think that's what we used to represent is very confusing to many people around the world, because we changed maybe strategy too often in the past. So that is what we're trying to clear with one definite point of view that consistently we need to execute, so that people understand what we're about. And that answer, if you ask consumers, doesn't change here versus other countries, for example. We believe we've got everything sorted to actually start that process, and we did already 2 years ago with regard to our approach towards the future. Now, with regard to how is this actually being done in retail, which is one of the questions. You see that retail is changing. Absolutely. The world doesn't need another store that is based on transactional activity. There are too many out there already. The world becomes more digital, and the successful retailers obviously also look far more into what experience do people associate with a brand and the store they go into. And this is what this whole thing is about. This is about giving you a fitness experience in terms of what you learn about fitness, products that you can use for it, to be also physically active, that I believe makes this a great added value when you look into Fifth Avenue and the stores you see here. You don't go in here only just to buy a product. You go in here to experience something more than what you've known before. This is why people need to be different that actually represent us here. That's why there's a box. So it's a very unique proposition that transports what we try to stand for. And if we execute that well, there's only one way about it. It's going to be successful. That's what we're trying to accomplish. So it's a new store concept, how it looks when you look around. It takes a lot of inspiration from how a box looks right now downstairs. Right. So it transports actually the commonalities of what is my experience in the physical activity straight away also into a retail store. And to combine those so closely, I think is very unique, different, and will be successful. I don't have any doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just by walking in the location, it's really easy for shoppers to just get immersed in the brand and immersed in the fitness environment. So that automatically flips the switch, and they're really getting into the experience a lot more.
And now clear is also, this is one store. I don't have 25,000 of them. So the process that we make in terms of progress towards our strategy to be understood so clearly is now beginning. We started talking about the sport of fitness has arrived in our brand marketing. Beginning of the year, we now open up a store. So it's a step by step. Our job is we will not conquer the world within a couple of weeks and months, but we've chosen our path and now to execute against that over and over again, because the successful companies follow their strategy for a long time. And that is what we now need to do. We just need to have the stamina to go through. We know it's right, it's understood. Now we need to convince as many people as we can on the way. So that's what our mission is, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the next steps, what are your overall goals for this initiative? Are you hoping to expand it to other locations, or what can we expect from you guys in the future?
this idea of the Fit Hub concept we've already introduced last year in Korea as well as also in Russia. So it's not that this is the very first store that looks like this. So we have already initial experience and how we can start optimizing that. And that's nothing else what we do here. This is the first location. We need to figure out how we make it or how we optimize it. I'm very happy with the starting point. And we learn a lot out of that. And that will lead to obviously growth with regard to bringing this not just to New York, potentially also to other places. So there's no doubt about it. That's what we are intending to do, but I can't talk about numbers yet because that's too early. But clearly this is a unique, innovative approach that we're trying. We want to make sure we prove the case, and then we're going to start growing. There's no doubt.
And can you share any information on how you're, trying to spread the buzz and like educate your consumers about, this new concept and that it's available to them?
Well, the interesting part is also the learning about CrossFit. CrossFit is the fastest growing grassroots fitness movement. It doesn't live off TV. It lives off you coming here because somebody told you. You actually experience progress. You are happy and you start talking about it. That's how sustainable things start. It's very small for a period of time, and then all of a sudden you reach a tipping point and it becomes scalable. Like this operation, this is not driven by we're going to make big talks about that to the country. This is about bringing it to life locally, meaning the box owners obviously together with us. There's a lot of local marketing that is spreading around this territory in this neighborhood obviously, and that's what's supposed to fill it to begin with. That news is going to spread and it's going to get bigger and bigger. So this is not about the classical marketing approach. This is about making as many people happy about their progress as they can, because the message then spreads by itself. And that's the approach that we need to do for such a concept of box and store in one. So that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, that concept of word of mouth I think is going to be extremely powerful in this case. Well, it's going to be really exciting, Uli, to really see how this concept progresses and where this is going to take Reebok in the near future. So I really appreciate you taking the time out to speak with me.
Thank you very much.
It was definitely a great conversation and get to really pick your brain on it. And thanks everyone out there for watching us today.
Thank you.